And then do you have it here? Maybe we look at like this guy. So in here, where if a student ended up adding it, where did they go wrong? Like what step did they not do? So 245, they still did it. Here you went plus 15. So if a student picked this, did they do that step?
No. I think the reason why I added 15 was so that I could just get to an even hour mark.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So once I added 15 minutes to 2:45, I got to 3, and then I added the other hour increments.
Yep.
The other hours. So I show that there, and my method that I used was count up. So I counted up from 2:45 to 3, and then I counted up in 1 hour intervals until I got to the round number of 5.
That makes sense. And so this makes a lot of sense. I guess what I'm thinking is, and what you kind of did here with this other work was, when you're doing this, you're starting with like the start. It's the same thing as like start, before, after. What would you call it? Start, change, result.
Yeah.
Start, change, result.
What's difficult about this is like I think this is like, we have to look at it like almost like partitions. That's why I have these lines.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, I don't know. I should let you finish. Go ahead.
No. I agree the way you're going. Like this is they need to still do this. They still need to do this.
I'm thinking that they have to see time as like intervals. Time as like partitions.
Yep.
So on a number line, because ultimately, like we want to be able to get them to partition it on a number line, and then also make that connection to the partitions, the 60 partitions, you know, of minute partitions on the clock, and then the 12 partitions for the hours. So it's definitely like partitions. But I'm unsure how to do that besides the count up method. And to me, what I really need to find is what's in this key language here.
Yes.
What's it? It's how long was the movie? So apparently there is a start and there is a finish to the movie, right?
And I think yes. And I think like what you're.
So the result is the movie ended. The start is the movie started. The change is how much time happened in between.
Yes. And then I think the only difference is you still have students do this, but start them with this. So they were starting with this number line. What would this number line look like for them to set it up?
If I was starting with
the question.
With the question.
Nice. And then like the in-between is they're doing this guy. So then the question is, so then if a student ended up picking D, 7 hours and 45 minutes, which step
what did they do? Well, I mean,
so
what they're actually doing is they're not seeing the result as 5. They're seeing 5 as either a start or a change.
Yes. So then what do we teach them?
So basically, 5 o'clock is almost like a whole. Right. That like 5 o'clock's a whole. Right. And then 2:45 is a part. And then some unknown. Right. Is the other part. And they're adding these 2 parts together to get the whole.
So the first thing, so when we're telling students, because we don't want them to make that mistake, we're telling them when you're doing this, remember to do what?
See, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's draw a picture. I'm not sure if it's. I mean, I guess it is. I guess it is modeling. I guess it is like starting with like. But I guess my only problem is like when they have a whole, like if it's usually like a number like 500. I guess they could. I guess like just because there's a hole in there it doesn't really matter. Like if it's 5, right? If it's 500. I guess we could partition part of it. Or at least maybe like drop down like part of it.
Yeah.
And then find out what this unknown is.
Yeah, I think we can do this. I think the number line is fine too. We can do both. We can do one or the other. I think either one is fine. But then the real work there is students have to draw either a number line.
A visual representation of some sort.
Yep. To show.
Is there another kind? Because
the standard calls out the use of a number line explicitly.
A number line explicitly. Because I do remember one problem that says, find it another way besides the number line. And this is what I came up with for that. So it's like 60 minutes, 60 minutes, 60 minutes, then 30 minutes, right?
Yes.
And I went through like 6 different steps, and I wasn't exactly sure on like how to do it because, and I know my third graders will struggle because like they just haven't partitioned that many times.
Yep.
Like I tried to like just partition like 7 times myself, and it's very hard, right? It's very hard to like partition 7 easily. It's much easier to partition 6.
Yeah.
But this specifically has
like the partition
3 hours,
was difficult there.
3.5 hours, which is 7 30-minute increments, right?
Yeah.
So
it sounds like because of what the standard says, we definitely include a number line, and then we can decide if you want to include this or not. Do you want to include a bar model with it too or not?
And I'm guessing that it is going to be bar models because that's ultimately what I came down to, and I think that will be most intuitive.
So then,
so bar models. So far we have like possibly 3 different bar models.
Yep. Draw a bar model. Draw a number line to do what? And then what was the next thing after they do that?
Algorithm solve full sentence answer.
Before you did the solving, you did this part.
Algorithm.
Yep. And then before, like, you ended up circling the words here, and you found the.
Oh.
How do you want to capture that?
It's not kid friendly at all, but what it is designate one as a whole, one as a part, one as a missing part.
That works. I'll type in designate one as a whole, a missing part, and what was the other thing?
A part.
Missing part and a part.
Yeah, it's a part. Okay. It's a given part.
Yep. Using what?
Using circles.
Yep. Using circles. And are you thinking
and labels?
Circles.
Just circle
labels.
and label directly on the page.
And then did you decide number line and bar model or just number line?
If the standard calls for it, then number line.
Just number line, okay.
Yeah.
And number line, that works. No pick and D then. The next one, you ready?
Can I throw one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I also think, especially if you have been teaching start, change, result, like that fits in really well with elapsed time because you're always going to have a time that's the start, a time that's a result, and whatever the elapsed time is going to be the change.
The elapsed time is the change.
No matter what, right? Like you might be given the elapsed time, you might be given the result. What you're given might change, but elapsed time will always be the change, and there will be a start time and a result time. So that might be like a key point or like a big understanding that you want them to have is like elapsed time is always the change between the start time.
So then for the definitions, let's label them. So you're using whole, part, but then what we're saying then is a whole. When you're looking at time, we're calling it what?
When we're using like elapsed time, start time, and finish time? Or wait, is finish time elapsed time? I'm sorry, Gabby, can you just
Yeah. So the resulting time is whatever time you're ending at.
Got it.
Start time is whatever time you're starting at, and then the elapsed time is the change.
Is the change. Okay.
To equate that to a part whole.
So the whole is 5 o'clock. Or should I say that that's...
Yep.
Did you want to try that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, like, I think, so if part whole is something they're really strong with and familiar with, I do think it makes sense to equate it to this. If it's not, I might actually continue to use start, change, result.
Okay.
Because, like, a time that you're starting with plus an elapsed time, it's not really 2 parts of a thing. Like, it is because you're adding them, but when we think about it, like, concretely, those aren't 2 things you're putting together to make a whole. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So if you were to equate it, I think like the result time would be the whole.
Thanks for explaining that. It makes actually it clarifies a lot.
Yeah, like one of the start times would be the part, and the elapsed time would be the other part. But conceptually, that's not really what we're doing when we're dealing with time.
Now I understand.
Yeah. So if like start, change, and result are words that you've already been using, I would capitalize on that and go with that kind of frame.
Okay, thank you.
Can you see me when you're done?
Yes. Yes. Can you add that under
I was
under
just
Watson, George?
Jesus.
Yeah.
We don't have to, yeah, go ahead. I mean, we don't have to use this language. Like, I mean, we can end up. It's similar, right? But then, so what are the three key parts of when they're looking at these as soon as
We're looking at start.
Yep.
Change. Result. And start is 2:45. Change is actually in that question it's unknown.
Yep. So then when we're defining these for students, then when we're telling them, okay, you're looking for the start time, and the start time is, how do you want to define it for them? So this applies to this question, and yes, we want.
So like this is like a knowledge question?
Yep.
Like what are we gonna say at the start?
Yep. Start is.
The start is.
So then, yep.
When what we're talking about occurs. When what we're talking about occurs.
Cool. Change.
Change is. Are we strictly talking about like time here for this?
Yeah,
we're just barreling in on this question.
Yep.
So it's the hours or minutes.
The hours or minutes.
The hours or minutes that pass before the end time.
Cool. And then result.
The time the event ends, or the time that we're talking about.
That works.
Ends.
I think we're at 2:40, George. When we have our one-on-one, can you try this for question the next 3 days? 1, 2, 3. So just exactly what we just did, but for the next 2 boxes. Does that work?
Definitely.
Cool. Thanks, GP.
Thank you for your time, Juan.
Hey,
thank you for your time, Gabby.
Yeah, thanks for letting me do this.
I also have these.
I'm messing around with this, George.
You know, I did that one because I know